Dear students, in this episode, that is the 13th, we discuss the unit 10, that is circles. What do you mean by a circle? There are two types of definition for that circle. One is a circle is a closed figure with a common point and also the distance of any point from that common point are equal. That means this is a plane. In this plane, let us consider a point. Therefore, there is several points. These points are equidistant from a fixed point. Therefore, that form of a circle. Circle means in a plane, any point, what is a point, that is this point is P, move with respect to a fixed point, let us assume it is O. Then the path traced by that point be a circle. That is one definition. Other definition is there are several points. They are equidistant. Equidistant means equal length from a fixed point. Then the group of all points equidistant from the fixed point in a plane form a circle. Therefore, there are two definitions for a circle. One definition is in a plane, any point move with respect to a fixed point. Then the path traced by that point is a circle. Or a circle is the group of or the union of all points equidistant from a fixed point is a circle. Therefore, this is a circle. The fixed point is known as center. That is center of the circle. The path traced by that point with respect to the center is circumference of the circle. Then the distance of any point from center of the circle, it is known as radius. We know that the distance of any point on the circle from its center is radius of the circle. Twice of the radius is diameter. Twice of the radius is diameter. Therefore, we know that in a plane, any point move with respect to a fixed point, then the path traced by that point is a circle, or it is the union or group of all points equidistant from a fixed point is a circle. The common fixed point is known as center of the circle. The path traced by that circle is known as the circumference of the circle. Distance of any point on the circle from its center is radius. Twice of the radius is diameter. Clear? Then let us consider a circle with the center O. Then there is a line segment AB. That is the line segment. The end points of that line segment are A and B. These 2 points be the points on that circle. Therefore, that points are known as extremities. That makes the point be on a circle. Therefore, the end point of that segment may be known as extremities. Therefore, A and B are 2 points on the circle. Then this line segment AB is known as chord. Chord, C-H-O-R-D, chord of the circle. What's a chord? The line joining any 2 points on a circle. That is the longest chord of that circle and it is the diameter. Therefore, PQ passes through what? O. That is center of the circle. Therefore, PQ is the diameter. Now, what's the diameter? What's the chord? The line joining any two points on a circle is known as a chord. The chord passes through the center of the circle is the longest chord. It is also known as the diameter. Half of the diameter is radius. For example, diameter is 10 cm, then radius is equal to 10 by 2, that is 5 cm of the circle. For a circle, there is only one radius. There are not two or more radii. Therefore, there is only one radius for a circle, and there is one common point that is center. There are several radius segments, but they are equal in measure. And we know that this circle with the center O divided this part as 3. That is interior portion of the circle, exterior portion of the circle, and the circle. Therefore, a circle divides the plane into 3 parts. One is circle. The point outside or the field outside of that circle is known as exterior, and the part inside the circle it is interior. Therefore, a circle divided the plane into 3: exterior, interior, and also circle. Always that center of the circle be the interior of that circle. Clear? Then we know that there is a point P and Q. Part of the circle this point P and Q, that is known as an arc. Arc of a circle. What is an arc? The path of a circle with end points being known as arc of a circle. We know that AB is the diameter. Therefore, this diameter divides the circle into 2 equal arcs, first arc and also second arc. These 2 arcs are equal in measure. Therefore, this is known as a semicircle. What is a semicircle? The end point of the arc of the circle is the end point of the diameter passes through center. Therefore, that part are known as semicircle. Then PQ is an arc. Its length is less than the semicircle. Therefore, that PQ is what? Minor arc. What is minor arc? Length of an arc of a circle is less than that semicircle. Therefore, it is minor arc. Therefore, this arc PAQ, that is another arc, but length of that arc is greater than the semicircle. Therefore, it is known as major. Then what is a minor arc? The diameter of a circle divided that circle into 2 equal arcs, they are known as semicircle. The length of an arc is less than the length of semicircle, it is minor arc. And the length of an arc is more than or greater than the semicircle, it is major arc. From this figure, PQ is a minor arc, APB, that is a semicircle, PAQ, that is the major arc. Okay, minor arc, major arc, and semicircle. Then let us start the other circle. one arc of a circle made with two radius segments at the center. That part of the circle is known as a sector. We know that this length of the arc is less than the semicircle. Therefore, this is a minor arc. Then the sector is a minor sector. What is a minor sector? The part of a circle is a sector. Its area is less than the area of semicircle. It is minor sector. And the other one, that is major sector. It is major. Therefore, the area of a sector is equal to semicircle, and the area of a sector is less than the area of a semicircle. It is minor sector, and more than the semicircle, it is major sector. Then there is a chord AB. This chord AB divides that sector into two parts. Therefore, this part is known as, this is the part that is known as a segment. The part of a circle with a chord, that part is known as the segment. It is listen. This sector is minor sector. Therefore, this chord is minor chord. Sorry, minor segment. And all the other part of that one is major segment. That means the sector is minor sector. Then the chord between the end point of that sector, we divide that minor sector into two parts. One is a circle triangle, that is OAB. That is a triangle. OA and OB are equal. Therefore, base angles are equal. That is an isosceles triangle. Then the second part with the arc and also chord is a minor segment. All other parts be a major segment. Clear? Once again, we discuss the points of that circle. Any point in a plane, any point you move with respect to a fixed point, then the path traced by that point is a circle, or it is a union or group of all points equidistant from a fixed point in a plane. That is a circle. The fixed point is center, and the path traced by that circle is circumference of the circle, and also any point, distance of any point on the circle from its center, it is radius. Twice of the radius is diameter. Then any circle divide that plane in three parts. One is interior portion, that will be on the center, and other one is exterior portion, and third one is the circle. Then we know that part or any segment joining two points on a circle is a chord. The longest chord is the chord passes through center of the circle. It is diameter. Half of the diameter is radius. Then any diameter divide that circle into two equal parts. They are known as semicircle. Then the length of the arc of a circle is less than that of the semicircle. It is minor arc. More than it is major arc. Similarly, a circle is a part of a circle with an arc and radius segments at the center. That area of that sector is less than the semicircle, that of semicircle. Therefore, it is minor sector, otherwise it is major sector. A chord divides a sector into two equal parts. One is an isosceles triangle, other part is known as a segment. The arc or the sector arc is minor arc, therefore that segment is minor segment. That arc is major, therefore that segment is major segment. Clear? These are the main points of a circle. Then there of a circle subtend equal chords of a sector subtend equal angles at the center. That is the first theorem. Equal chords of a circle subtend equal angles at the center of the circle. Center. Equal chords of a circle subtend equal angles at the center. That is the first theorem. There is a proof for that theorem. Proof is AB and P2 are two chords to the circle. This is the center. Okay, proof of that theorem. Proof. AB and P2 are equal chords to the circle with center O. We have to prove that the angle AOB is equal to angle POQ. That is the answer. We know that the AB is equal to P2. That is given. OA, OB, OP, OQ are the radius segments where all is equal. OA is equal to OB is equal to OP is equal to OQ. They are radius segments. Radius. Therefore, we know that OB is equal to OP, OA is equal to OQ, OA is equal to OP, and AB is equal to PQ. That means there are two triangles, three sides of these two triangles are equal. Therefore, using S criteria of congruency, these two triangles are congruent. Therefore, triangle AOB congruent, triangle POQ. That's the reason side criteria of congruency will be now the result in the previous unit, that is triangles. Three sides are equal to the corresponding three sides of another triangle. They are equal or they are congruent, that is S criteria. Therefore, these two triangles are congruent. Therefore, angle AOB is equal to angle POQ. What is it? Corresponding parts of congruent triangles. CPC. That is the answer. Clear? Then once again we explain the first theorem and its proof. First theorem is two equal chords subtend equal angle at the center. That is the first theorem. For the proof, draw a circle with center O. AB and P2 are two chords. They are equal. That means AB and P2 are equal chords with the circle with the center O. That is given. We have to prove that the angles at the center are equal. Therefore, AB is equal to P2, that is given. OA is equal to OB is equal to OP is equal to theorem. It is an important theorem. Therefore, always we can write all the theorems on your work and notes on your notebook and also study them. Clear? Then theorem number 2. That is the converse of this theorem. That means chords are equal, the angles are equal. Then the angles subtended by chords at the center of a circle are equal, then the chords are equal. The angles subtended by chords at the center of a circle are equal, then the chords are equal. The converse of the first theorem. That means chords are equal, the angles are equal. Then the converse of that theorem is angles are equal, we can do that the chords are equal. So same figure. AB, P2, center O, thus if these two are equal, then the proof of that theorem is AB and the P2 are the chords to a circle with center O. Clear? What is given? Angle AOB is equal to angle POQ. That is given. That is given. Okay? We know that OA is equal to OB. That is OB is equal to OQ. OA is equal to OB is equal to OP is equal to OQ. That is radius. They are equal. Therefore, side, angle, side criteria, these two triangles are converged. Therefore, triangle AOB coordinate triangle POQ, that is side, angle, side criteria. Therefore, corresponding sides are equal. Therefore, AB is equal to P2, that is CPC. Here, this is the converse of first theorem. What is first theorem? Equal chords subtended, equal angle at the center, that is first theorem. The converse is two chords subtended, equal angle at the center, comma, they are equal. Therefore, the proof of that one is AB and P2 are the chords of a circle with the center O. Then, angle AOB is equal to angle POQ, that is given because subtended angles are equal. Then we know that all the line segments are radius, they are equal. That is OA is equal to OB is Therefore, by side and side criteria, we know that the triangles are congruent. Therefore, triangle AOB congruent to triangle POQ. What is the reason? Side and side criteria. Therefore, corresponding parts are equal. That is AB is equal to PQ. That is CPCT of that P. Clear? Then theorem number 3. The perpendicular from center of a chord center of a circle bisects the chord. That is third theorem. That means the perpendicular from center of a chord of a circle to a chord bisect that chord. Circle to a chord bisect that chord. That is the theorem number 3. That means the proof of chord theorem. There is a chord AB and O is the center. OM is the perpendicular bisect that chord. Okay. Is a proof of that theorem. AB is a chord to a circle with center O. OM perpendicular to AB, that is given. Therefore, angle OMB is equal to angle OMA is equal to 90 degree. Therefore, OM is equal to OM, that is common. That is common. Okay? Always we can write the reason of that statement. Then OA is equal to OB. That is radius. Clear? Therefore, OMB and OMA which implies that OM bisect bisects. Clear? Okay. Now what is that theorem? The perpendicular from center of a circle to a chord bisect that chord. That is the theorem number 3. For that one proof, construct a circle with the center O. AB is a chord. OM is perpendicular to AB. Therefore, AB is a chord into the circle with the center O. Given that OM perpendicular to AB, that is given. Therefore, angle OMA is equal to angle OMB is equal to 90 degrees. That is perpendicularity. Then OM is equal to OM, that is common. OA is equal to OB, they are equal, they are the radius segments. Therefore, triangle OMA, quadrilateral triangle OMB, that is are just criteria. Therefore, AM is equal to BM, that is simplicity. That means OM is the perpendicular, it will bisect the chord A. That is the third theorem. Then the next theorems we discuss that theorems in the next episode. Okay.